What's going on, everybody? This is Moose and Brian here from OccupyFantasy.com, at OccupyFantasy on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm your host, Moose, at CFB_Moose on Twitter is where you can find me. One of the data gurus here over at Occupy Fantasy. I'll be the host for tonight's stream. Alongside here, brother and co-owner of Occupy Fantasy, Brian, at BrianJesterFF on Twitter. How's it going, man?
Hello, Moose. What's going on? You and I were working on some NFL stuff today, so we know that season's right around the corner, and yeah, now it's time to talk some baseball. Excited.
Absolutely, yes. We've been trying to plan this out for a couple of weeks. I'm glad we were able to finally get it. This is going to start off with DFS, and then we're going to go ahead and transition primarily into betting. And Brian, I got to say, nothing more feasible than like prop betting on Sunday Night Baseball. I got the Atlantic City thermos that doesn't keep your water warm, so I am ready to responsibly fire some bets tonight.
If there's any city that says irresponsibly firing bets, it's definitely Atlantic City for sure.
Definitely. So we'll get into that. We'll bring up the AccuProp radar. We'll actually be going to the sportsbooks as well once the game goes live for a couple minutes. We're going to talk about dissecting some live props, some really the flash bets is what they're calling them now. So it should be really exciting. But let's jump right into it, Brian. We're taking a look here at the Occupy model for single game. Already have it filtered for the Yankees and Boston game tonight. And first thing that stuck out is we sort by OF index. Yeah, we have some pretty good hitters tonight. It seems like a kind of like a hitters game.
Yeah, real quick, flash bets, because Maryland is still dragging their feet and we don't have any sports bets here yet. What are flash bets? Is that just like in-game live prop betting?
So it's like, think prop betting with on drugs. It's what will this pitch be? What will be the outcome of this at bat? Will this player, if a person's on first, will this player steal a base? Will he get picked off? Nothing happened. So anything that can possibly happen, it's bettable.
Like micro gaming to the max. But how did they reconcile? I'm trying to think of the right word here. Accurately, I guess, between the timing of the actual event happening and the ability to place the bet. Like if you're in the stadium, do you have an edge placing the bet, or like how does that work?
I'm actually not sure, but I've noticed that it's usually faster than the play-by-play. Definitely way faster than your TV. So it's something that you're gonna have to be following either in person, like you said, or on some sort of crazy quick feed. MLB.com, for example, is pretty on pace with DraftKings,
Okay.
from what I've noticed. So that should be it's always fun. Especially like if you're betting with player props, steals, or the micro bets, you see it and you're like, oh my god. You see like in play, no outs, and you're like, okay, what is this? Is it a double? Is it a triple, single? What is it? So yeah, very fun. Definitely want to go ahead and get the community involved on some of the things we bet as well. The first thing
I'm most excited for that now. Now I can't wait for the game to start. I'm curious to see how that works.
Gonna be fun, and it's definitely. When I first started to do it, it's like, okay, this is no problem. I can just line shot. Oh wait, they threw 3 pitches already. I can't. So
Well, so I guess the other thing is like you have to have some sort of system in place, or you just go bankroll. Your bankroll will go bust immediately, right? Like you have to either like focus on a specific type of prop, and you have to have a system in place. Be like, oh, this is the line I'm looking for. Bet it, or otherwise you're just blindly firing.
yeah, which is what I'm sure the sportsbook wants. But we'll talk more about that, Brian. I know you're very excited. Let's get through the DFS part, and then we'll jump over to giving money over to Atlantic City. So the first thing we'd like to talk about here, Brian, is that he went away. Are you there with me?
I'm gonna unplug that. I don't know why. I'm good, dude. I'm right here.
It's cool. So I'll start off. You know, we have some expensive people here. Just James Stallion, Nick Pivetta, Aaron Judge, Rizzo. These are some of the more expensive plays. If you're playing higher risk, you know, there's the big GPP on Sunday night. Are you putting any of these players in at your captain spot?
Yeah, so it's interesting because we were talking to Chris earlier. For those of you who follow Occupy, you know Chris. He's our MLB, NFL writer, USFL writer, and he's a Boston guy. And he was telling us how depleted the Boston bullpen is. A bunch of their guys on the injured list, a couple of guys that normally pitched yesterday, a decent amount. And so we've seen this spot before in the past where if a bullpen is pretty depleted, that the starter will have a pretty long leash, and that's Pivetta tonight. So you got to imagine, first of all, if there was a prop, I'd be betting Pivetta over number of pitches or over innings pitched because We've seen these spots before, and unless he just like gives up 10 runs in 3 innings, they're gonna like, throw him out there to give their bullpen some rest. So that's interesting to me, and I think he makes for a high floor play because of that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about in high risk contests. I'm pretty much, unless it's a stud pitcher, I'm pretty much always looking to play a hitter in the captain spot. And I don't think it's any different tonight with guys like Judge, Rizzo, and even some guys like Duran who pops for Boston.
Yeah, Duran's doing leadoff, and I could see something like with you say Pivetta having a long leash. You could play him, stack the Yankees. That's definitely gonna get you really unique. Figure if Pivetta goes 6, 7, maybe even 8 innings, but he does get rocked a couple times, that can still get you there as well.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot because there's always a question of how many hitters do I play against my pitcher in showdown, and if you're used to playing classic slates, you have this mindset where you're locked in. I can't play any hitters against my pitcher, but showdown's completely different, and because of his pitch count and his innings pitch floor tonight, I think that makes a lot of those hitter versus pitcher lineups very possible, and I definitely prefer playing him in the flex tonight as opposed to captaining him and playing Yankees hitters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely that's the way to go. But still, since we're on the concept of pitchers, let's take a look at some of the relief pitchers, and I have it filtered here to just show the relief pitchers sorted by OF index. I could probably should sort by team just to be a little easier. Now there are again, these aren't all the entire bullpen. There are some guys that are missing. These are just the ones we potentially say could play. These aren't the ones that are going to play, but they have a good chance. No, but one guy that sticks out that Chris also talked about is Caleb Ort for Boston. He's being brought up from the minor leagues. I checked. He's $4,000. He's one of their best relievers, according to Chris. You think someone like that, he's probably going to be less than 1% owned, could definitely get you there as well.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't played Showdown before, we always talk about the cheat code on DraftKings of playing a relief pitcher because of what it allows you to do with the rest of your lineup. And DraftKings sometimes gets hip, and they'll make a reliever 6K or 7K or sometimes randomly like 10K for no reason. But if you can play a reliever, even if he doesn't play, we've seen takedowns before where a pitcher doesn't even play and you still get the right lineup to the top with a 0. But yeah, this Ort guy looks pretty good, and 47 strikeouts in 34 innings in the minors. So has the K upside we're looking for too, right? Ideally, he gets in the game, gets a K or 2, gets 5 to 6 points, and that's certainly enough for what we're looking for. So I think the largest contest possible, I would be looking to play someone. But honestly, Moose, even like the lowest risk contest, there's really no risk in playing someone like Ort. Worst case, I guess worst case he gets rocked, right? That
Yeah.
can certainly happen. It's like the most tilting thing in Showdown. But the most likely scenario is he scores a 0, which is completely fine for most contest types.
Yeah.
If he somehow gets a strikeout or 2, now you're really cooking.
Yeah, so I have it filtered here of players who are less than $5,000, really basically the $4,000 people. And you have Bobby Dalbec and Jackie Bradley Jr., both for Boston, the only 2 hitters. And from any standpoint, you think of a reliever that has a chance to get in the game. I mean, it seems pretty likely that these people have a very low, the hitters have a low OF index, and they're going to be stupid popular because they're $4,000. Cheap people are going to jam them in. I mean, right there, we talk about leverage. That's also a great leverage play. And also, as long as these people don't absolutely blow up, you're still great in lower risk or small field single entry.
Right, so think about it here, right? So we've seen this a million times in Showdown. Someone like Bradley, maybe Dahlback, is going to be 40% in the flex spots, right? And if the reliever is 1%, like we say, is Bradley 40 times more likely to outscore that reliever? No. And if he zeros and Ort scores positive points, now you're leapfrogging at least 40% of the field, but probably way more because majority of field isn't building with the 4K option, right? So I think it makes a ton of sense. And, it's not saying guys like Bradley and Dahlbeck are bad plays, and they may even be better plays in smaller contests. But for the high risk large field contests on DraftKings, the easy pivot move is playing a reliever over those guys.
Definitely. And really quick, so if we go back to showing everyone here, just before we transition back over, unless you guys have any more questions, you can go ahead and ask. But Brian, I'll say this: top low risk or top low owned high risk captain tonight.
Low owned high risk captain is probably, so to me it looks like Cordero, right? he ranks 1, 2, 3. He's the 5th highest batter. Well, he's only 4,600, and we know. No matter if you play showdown or not, right? You know from other sports that people just cannot. The average person cannot click a lower price player into the captain spot,
Yeah.
unless it's like NBA showdown, right? That's a different example. But baseball, especially, it'll leave salary on the table. Cordero is just 4,600 compared to guys like Stanton, Duran, Rizzo, Judge, just crazy salaries. He's basically half the price of those guys. So sure, he'll probably be popular in the flex, but he'll be sub 10% in the captain spot. And if he's a top hitter on the slate, and we expect him to be in the top 5, that's pretty close. So I think he looks like a guy, and it's a pretty. This is a characteristic that you look for low owned, high risk showdown captains, and he fits the bill. So I think he would probably be my choice for that.
Okay, that makes sense. I was looking. I don't know how low owned he's going to be, but Trevor Story, and we'll get into it in the betting side as well, also has that stolen base upside where in showdown you're just trying to get points any which way you possibly can. So I think if he gets a hit, stolen base, he's looking pretty good.
I mean, and you've been crushing those stolen base props. I know a lot of people and a lot of members talk about how spot on the pitching model is. And you and I talked about that the last time, many moons ago, we did a Sunday night baseball stream.
Yeah.
But how spot on the stolen base aspect of the model is as well. And I know you've been absolutely destroying stolen base props using the model. So yeah, I'm curious to see if you have any tips tonight.
I know it's no Derek. If you're a social media guy, if you're here watching, we don't have any 18-1 plays. It was funny. We both had a free bet and said, hey, throw it on. I can't remember who it was to steal a base at. What was
Some
it?
super random dude.
Yeah, at 18-1. I was like, dude, no. True odds are like plus 400. And first at bat gets a single. MLB.com feed messes up and it just says like blank. And I was like, oh no. And it goes on second. I was like, is it hit, sack fly, whatever? And it says stolen base. I said, let's go.
Yeah. No sweat either. First at bat.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's great. So yeah, are there any tonight that stick out to you?
So if we go ahead and look at the AccuProp radar, and I'll refresh just to get the latest lines. There are two that kind of stuck out. Is Durant both for Boston. Durant for Boston. Let's take a look at what his stolen base odds are right now. For those who don't know, the AccuProp radar, all the major sports books in your legal sports betting state, compares all the props between all of them, allows you just to click, goes directly to that sportsbook website to go ahead and make your bet. If you look here, stolen bases over on MGM and DraftKings. Some sportsbooks declare it as over/under total number of stolen bases. The other ones are yes, no, will he steal a base? So that's why you only see two books here. DraftKings is the best at 600 and 550 over at PointsBet. I definitely think that my closer true odds on this are about 610 plus 610 based off 3 at bats. It could get there. I could see something that if you're looking for a really good long shot, there's no like house edge on that. It's almost like a free bet. I think I would like that, if that makes sense, Brian.
And you're just being super conservative with 3 at bats. You're trying to find. You're only really betting bets that have a really, really solid edge. If you're projecting 3 at bats, and if the stolen base number is better than what the books are putting out, then you know you have a pretty big edge.
Exactly.
He's gonna get more than 3 at bats. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So Durant and then Story, which we talked about earlier as potential captain, and Troy's actually in the chat says, "Who's the chalky captain tonight?"
I mean, it's gotta be Aaron Judge, right? Like,
Yeah.
the way he's been playing, I can't imagine it's anyone else. And when in doubt, we see this when we project to showdown ownership for NFL. It's the same thing. NBA, same thing. Highest priced guys are generally the chalkiest, which is so stupid. But yeah, it's got to be Judge. I don't see how. There's no stud pitcher. Got to be Judge.
Definitely. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think if you look here really quick at Statcast data across the entire league, he's 4th in exit velocity and 34th in hit distance.
Doesn't make that fade any easier if you're not going to play him at captain. Who was that below him though? That was pretty close in Statcast.
Rizzo.
Pitchers. All right, so you could save a little bit of ownership and salary and play Rizzo at captain.
Definitely. If we look over here at Story, we see over at PointsBet, he's 8-1, which I actually think is pretty decent. I think, again, he has the same kind of ability as Duran to steal a base tonight. So we're going to put that as the first bet of the night over at PointsBet, 8-1, Trevor Story to steal a base.
Your true odds are better than that?
Yeah, it's plus 650 true odds. So a little bit of an edge, so we'll get there. So, Brian, you also mentioned it as well that we talk about pitching props as well. So, again, I don't necessarily think for strikeouts. I took a look early before the stream. I don't think any of the pitchers get there. But if you take a look at Pavetta's props, and there was one you talked about, it's not total pitches, but it is total outs recorded. They do have 17 or 16 and a half, which is what, 5.5, 6 innings ish or so.
Yeah, you gotta like that unless he gets completely rocked. So 16 and a half is 5 1/3 basically. Will he go more than 5 1/3? And if the bullpen's that depleted, I mean, he could go 6 innings, 6 earned runs, right? So that would be the bet I make, and I think I would sacrifice that extra out for the extra 15 cents with DraftKings. What do we have? Let me see. I'm just gonna look on the back end really quickly what we project him for, and this isn't like situation influenced. So let me see here. Just in a usual setup. Let me see. Pavetta, we got 4.
While you're doing that, Troy also says, would it be smart to not play any pitchers? We mentioned you go play Pavetta and stack Yankees hitters in high risk contests. We do think Pavetta's going to get a long leash tonight. But yeah, you could play pitchers tonight.
Yeah, I think Pavetta makes more sense. And again, Jameson is ranked #1 in the model, right? So from a floor perspective, he's the best, especially low risk contests. But we still lean toward Pavetta just because of all the situations we talked about. But Moose, even without the situation that we're talking about with the bullpen, our back end still projects him for 5.89 innings, which is already baseline more than the prop line that the books are putting out. Now you add in the situational factor. That's a fantastic bet.
Okay, so no long shot from you. You got the -125 bet. I like it.
Hey, we got 15 more minutes and just wait till the live bets start flowing. We'll see.
Yes, absolutely. So for those who are just joining in, we are talking about bets. I want someone in chat here to name the next player that we're going to go ahead and dissect to see if there's any type of prop that we can go for. And while I'm writing down the bets that we have for tonight, which if you just tuned in, Trevor Story to steal a base +800 over at PointsBet. Again, you can go ahead and check it out at the OccuProp Radar. If you need some deposit bonuses, you can click the links on our page, OccupyFantasy.com, the deposit bonus section. Get some nice deposit bonuses there.
Use those free bets to make these plays, dude. It's the greatest thing. Wait, as we were talking about this, it just like kind of sparked an idea in my mind. Are they gonna have this for football, like these live iGaming mini props?
Yes.
Because if so, we gotta stream live during NFL season during a game for like first quarter or something.
Yes. So how it should work, if my understanding is proper, is they will say what will be. There's also been how long will the kickoff return be? What will be the next play? What will be the outcome of this drive? Will it be a punt, field goal, touchdown, interception, fumble, etc.? Yeah.
We're gonna degen the shit out of some games, dude. All right,
I hope they go to the level of like who will catch the next pass. Stuff like
true.
That would be great.
Will it be a runner pass on 2nd and 10? And we know exactly coaches' tendencies, those losers who run on 2nd and 10. Oh yeah, I'm dude. Between our NFL work this morning and this conversation right now, I'm getting pumped for NFL.
Yes. So Chris actually comes in and says, of course he's going to say a player who may not know, so I'm just going to say Isaiah, IKF. And if we pull him up here, let's see about some of his props. Brian, I know you already have the back end up with the model. Is there anything that looks like we want to dive deep into his player props?
Oh God. Okay, let me see here. I'm on the back end. Let's see, and he is batting 9th, which super sucks for any prop outcomes. All right, we got his projected ISO at 0.037, which is like maybe the lowest I've ever seen in my life. WOBA 287, stolen bases decently high, the highest on the team in fact at 0.03 per at bat or per plate appearance. So I don't know. Actually, I think I can look at your metrics here that you've been looking for. But okay. If anything, I'd be looking at his stolen base prop. You got to figure this dude's batting 9th, so we better get a pretty damn good line on this.
Absolutely. So if we look here, he's only +550 to steal a base, 650 to steal a base over at DraftKings. Looks like the best odds. I don't think I like that.
No, I'm good. I'm good there. I'm good. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do wish, Brian, that some of these.
Real quick, sorry, real quick. Are you who in their right mind is betting -1600 no stolen base?
Actually, it's funny. When I was looking at props, they had Aaron Judge. It was like minus 15,000 under stolen bases. I was like,
I
well,
mean, it's just
it's
insane.
probably a good bet, but like, that's not the risk I want.
No, dude, I'm good. Because you're just like sweating bullets anytime he gets on base.
Yeah, he's gonna be running so slow. It's like throw him out.
Yeah, get to record first hit. There's some interesting bets here, but again, 550 definitely not enough for a 9-hitter who doesn't even pop that much in the model. So
So what do you think about something like this? Would be he has a total hits prop over at MGM under a half a hit at plus 160. So you're getting plus odds on a guy who's batting ninth. So we get the least amount of at bats on his team, and has terrible ISO, not the best WOBA. I think that could be something.
I think I'd rather just be a little chalkier and stick with my MO here on this stream. I like under total bases under 1.5 then if that's the case. If his ISO is literally .038 or whatever, like again, he'll naturally double in his first at bat. But under 1.5 minus 220, 33% of the time, basically saying that he'll get multiple bases in this game. I don't know. I guess the only concern there obviously is the fact that they're up against a depleted Boston bullpen, so they're not getting their best guys. So this could lose in the later part of the game, but I think that's a pretty good bet based on his ISO.
Oh, wait, we're gonna put that up over at Caesars minus 218. The next prop we'll look at really quick before I talk about some flash bets. What we're gonna be looking for on DraftKings. The setup that I currently use that definitely needs to be expanded upon, but I think it's pretty good. Works so far for me. So we're gonna look at Matt Carpenter because according to Chris, he's roided up, and we'll see if he can do any type of home runs or something like that.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay, so plus 650 to hit a home run over at PointsBet here, and is there another one? Yeah, so 550. Yeah, so it looks like plus 650 to hit a home run for that.
We got his ISO. I'm pulling up here now. His isolated projected power is. I can find the damn shit here. Okay, hold on a second. Matt Carpenter. We got him isolated ISO projection of 176, so above league average. So
Okay.
not bad. Not
So
bad.
Does that mean we're going to your total bases over this time?
Hmm. Good question. Good question. I'm looking here. And again, the thing we like to look at here is guys who don't have high K potential. Guys like Judge, guys like that. So Carpenter's projected K percentage per at bat is right around 20%, which is pretty low. So
Yeah.
I definitely like playing guys overs, especially total bases, when their K projection is a little lower. So with that said, IKF's is like down at 13%. So he's probably gonna put the ball in play, but yeah, I don't know. I guess Carpenter looks like an average play to me. If we get a good line, I think I would play it.
That makes sense. Yeah, like you mentioned, the first to hit home runs and the first hit always seem interesting. It's one of the next props sections that I want to go ahead and look at. I just haven't had time. Again, Brian, we talked about it several times before. Even in DFS, if you want to, you need to focus on what's profitable for you. There's 100 types of props that we could bet. Take one, focus, figure out how to beat it, or if you can't, move on to the next one. And so there's a handful of strikeouts, stolen bases, total bases for you somehow, and you just pick what works for you. And you've talked about it before on some other podcasts as well. Is just maximize your edge on one specific thing, and just hammer it home until you can't anymore.
Absolutely, that's definitely the move. And these first props are kind of interesting to me. My thought process here is first is at least every year when we bet Super Bowl props for NFL, that the first reception, longest reception, generally don't have as high of an ROI as all of our other bets. And I think it's because there's a lot of randomness in that. Obviously in baseball, there's a batting order to take into account here, but I would imagine, again, this is me not having looked into it. It's very possible that the books have slipped on this, but I imagine it ties into account their home run odds and their spot in the batting order. Where I could see this become an edge, and maybe that's completely wrong. Maybe they just don't even take into account batting order, and then you could hammer that edge. But if they do take into account, what you would want to look for here is just be on the lookout as soon as lineups drop. And if a guy is randomly moved to the top of the lineup or top two, and they normally hit in the lower half, then automatically that their odds to be the first to do X is going to be off compared to what the books expected.
Oh yeah, that's just a perfect way to beat that. Yeah, I completely agree with you on there. I was trying to see if it was in here. So it looks like Ken said he bet run first scored in the first inning plus 105, where it's like the best in USA is minus 110. So I don't know what Canadian books you have there, Ken. But
Ken has gotten booted and re-added and rebooted again from every Canadian book. So he must be working underground then to get plus 105 there.
definitely. So, yep. So let's take a look really quick. We're going to go over to DraftKings Sportsbook, and what you have here. I also have Bet Rivers as well. We're also partnered with Bet Rivers, so if you like what you see or you want to make a bet here as well, you can go ahead and check it out on our page. Now, my current setup, Brian, and I would like your opinion on this, is because it's so quick, especially for pitches, is boom, boom, boom. You have to have basically one part of your screen for each sports book. So I have DraftKings on here, as you see as well. I'll have Bet Rivers or another thing on my phone. I do have a second monitor right here. I'll throw it that's wider, and I'll have a sportsbook and sportsbook. And what I do beforehand, I'm doing first pitch to be a strike. That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
And there's Fangraphs, easily the greatest resource ever, has the percentage that a batter's first pitch is a strike and a pitcher's first pitch is a strike. So you just do some math, made some math formulas as well, figured out which ones, what the true lines should be, and then you added a little bit of what edge you want, and it'll give you the line to look for. And so again, it's the first pitch. The very first batter is always nice because you see here the game starts at 7:08, but in reality the first batter isn't really until maybe a minute or so later. So you do have a couple seconds to kind of scour the line for all the different sports books. But when you're talking about like batter 6 and you're like, oh my god, I can't figure this out. You just gotta, if you find, what do you think about this, Brian? If you find a line that's past what your line to beat is, let's say you're looking for minus 110, DraftKings shows up minus 105. And you already know that's your 5 or 10% edge. I'm hitting that because I know I only have 5 seconds to bet that. I don't have the time to go to Bet Rivers, MGM, PointsBet, wherever, and maybe get a 104, 103.
Yeah, I think you just gotta look and this comes back to everything we always talk about, is just track as much as you can, right? Mm-hmm. You'll probably notice that Bet Rivers has better odds for this specific type of prop every week. Maybe that changes once they catch on. So just keep tracking, monitor. I really don't think it's possible because you could miss out on a line or the pitch just happens because it's literally in real time. So yeah, I'm glad to see that these still are a thing. I made a small fortune back in the day during my sports betting days on first pitch props, and to see books still doing this, I imagine they're still doing it incorrectly. They don't care about it, and if you do it well enough, they might cut you off from it. But so where do you go? Because again, I've never done this move. So where do you go on the screen here to get the first pitch props up?
So you'll see here the game starts at 7 minutes 40 seconds. Once that goes to 0, DraftKings will switch over to their live feed, and it'll just show all the live bets. There was a tweet put out maybe a month or so ago where DraftKings just inflated everyone's price once the game went live, and everyone was taking, of course, advantage of that.
Oh, right. Oh, in a good way for the consumer by accident.
In a good way for the consumer, yeah. So, for example, if you bet someone to steal a base who batted ninth, after the first inning, if he was plus 500, he'd be like plus 1,000. Like, well,
so stupid.
He hasn't even batted yet, so of course.
They fixed that though, right?
Yeah, they fixed that pretty quickly.
Because the idiot tweeted it out. That's why.
Definitely.
And I'm telling you, dude, if you find an edge in sports betting, no matter how small it is, keep it to yourself. I mean, maybe tell us because we just told you about this, but like, maybe tell us, but keep it to yourself because those things don't last forever. So
yes.
If you find an ATM, just hammer it until the ATM breaks or everyone else finds out about the ATM. Don't go telling people about the ATM.
Yeah, and two really quick things while we're waiting for this for this game to start is a lot of people ask Circa Sports, who's one of my favorite sports books. They always ask them, "Hey, how come you don't have a lot of player props or single game parlays?" And their bookmaker flat out says, "We can't price them properly." Yeah, and they're sharp. They're super sharp. So if they're super sharp and can't figure it out, these books probably won't be able to.
Not to mention, who the fuck wants to line like 7,000 props? Like, no one wants to do that. And the only way you can do that is automatically, which means there are going to be misses and there's going to be mistakes. So that's where we as consumers can step in. So DJ LeMahieu is batting. Wait on. Yeah, so LeMahieu is going to be leading off the game. The Yankees are on the road here. Yes. So let's just be ready for this. Let's look at these first 3 batters. So
Okay.
LeMahieu, Judge, and Rizzo. I don't know if you have your numbers handy, Moose, but what
Mhm.
first pitch strike lines are we looking for these 3 guys?
So I think we're gonna get DJ. We want to look for anything minus 150 or lower.
And so, in your experience, what has DraftKings or BetRivers been pricing these first pitch strikes at? And do they fluctuate that greatly between hitters?
They really don't fluctuate that much. They may fluctuate 10 cents, 15 cents on a good day, or a bad day, I
Okay.
guess you would say. So I'm guessing uh, for DJ, we want to look for minus 150 or lower. They're probably going to be minus 120. And odds makers, if you're listening to this, please don't make it minus 150.
Yeah,
um,
for entertainment purposes, do what you normally do. So so we're looking for minus 150. It's probably gonna be minus 120. And I mean, this just makes sense intuitively if you're out there listening, right? Like, there are guys. If you've ever played baseball, you know this before too, right? Like, there are guys who just take first pitches more. There are MLB players who take first pitches more. There are pitchers who are willing to just give up a first pitch strike. They're not gonna try to get fancy. They're just gonna let's get a strike in. So different pitchers, different hitters have different tendencies for first pitches. First time through the order, second time through the order, it all changes. And you can pull all this from Fangraphs, like Moose said, so you can easily create a simple model for yourself in Excel or Google Sheets or whatever. So minus 150 true odds for LeMahieu, first pitch strike. What about Judge and Rizzo?
so for Judge, we're looking for even money or better. I definitely don't think we'll get that. Um,
So
they're
because he swings a lot, or opposing pitchers are just like, I'm not throwing a strike to Judge on the first pitch.
Exactly, yeah. So I imagine that we're not going to get that. Rizzo, we're looking for a plus 114 or better. I don't think we'll get that as well. I've never seen a first pitch strike be plus 110, higher than
Okay.
plus 110. So
So LeMahieu's our guy in the first inning hit that we're looking for.
yeah, and there's nothing worse than I've had it happen just a handful of times when it's the umpire makes I don't know, it's the wrong call, but it's like a judgmental call. It's like, dude, just call it a strike. You're
Yeah,
good.
come on, man. Robot umpires definitely needed for first pitch strikes. All right, so before this game starts, we got what? Story to steal a base. We got Pavetta over 16.5 outs.
Mm-hmm.
We got IKF, and this is a third bet if you really need some action. IKF under 1.5 total bases. We like Pavetta in the flex for single game, and just recapping everything for the game starts here. Cordero, really under-owned captain option. Judge is going to be super chalky at captain, but probably for good reason because he's been just crushing the baseball. And we like that reliever for Boston as a salary saver. So
Caleb Ford. Yep.
Yep. So there you go. So there's your 30-second rewind on the entire episode, and now we're going to get ready to sweat some live props.
Definitely. We got 2 minutes left until the start. I just want to say really quick, a lot of sportsbooks will be giving out promos as well. They may give out a $10, $25 risk-free single game parlay for Sunday Night Baseball. Definitely a great way to, if you're thinking about, again, this may come off as not intuitive, but if you're like, okay, I really think my stolen base props or my strikeout props are good, you can throw that in a single game parlay. It's risk-free. So you definitely want to go something that you think has an edge. Even if you add something that you don't know has an edge or not, you can always go. So if we go, I don't think I can do it since I'm not logged in, but there are some single game parlays where it'll be like, will the pitcher get over like one strikeout, minus 2,000? So we'll just throw it in and bump your odds up a little bit.
True.
So it's a great way to learn the product, learn how much edge you have. And there's also some other bonuses, like I think Caesars has it where you bet a certain amount on the money line, and if a team scores in the 7th inning, you get some money back. I don't think you know how
It
to
adds
price
up, dude.
that.
It adds up, man. It all adds up.
Yes, absolutely. So, cool beans. So while I'm doing that, let's see if we can go to MLB.com as well and pull up that game. So we'll go ahead. We'll see what it is. We'll see if we can even track it.
Okay. You can't bet this pregame, right? This first pitch, right?
No. So what will happen is
I'm ready to fire on this.
in a minute, 15 seconds,
Alright.
it should change over to their live thing.
Okay. I'll wait patiently for another minute.
It's going to go up. It's going to say, it's going to start out minus 120. All 15 people watching this is going to go absolutely steam it to minus 200, and
Yeah.
he's definitely throwing a ball.
Yeah, and then we'll just use our platform to our advantage and bet the other side of it.
It's like, yeah, I have a. Well, no. So it's like, what will it be? Will it be a ball, strike, in play, hit by pitch, etc.? So you can't
All right,
like bet the opposite.
oh, I guess betting a ball doesn't really encapsulate the entire opposite
Yeah.
outcome. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. All right, fine. We won't, don't steam it, guys.
Just steam it a little bit.
All right, 36 seconds.
Let's see.
LeMahieu first pitch strike, and then anything else we're gonna be looking for aside from first pitch, like for these first
Not too
couple
much.
batters?
We'll take a look at some of the other things they have, and because Brian, you've never seen this before, and you'll get to see what it looks like. And I'm curious from an outsider if you're like, oh, well, let's take a look at this. We have the time.
Okay.
We can take a look at it.
Sounds good. Man, it's gonna be bad when Maryland gets here. I'm gonna.
You're literally Sylvester meme, Sylvester Cat. When you,
I know.
when you do this.
Yeah, actually, it will be. I gotta. But again, like you said, I just gotta find the biggest edges and work on those, and not try to do everything. It's all right.
So real
I got
quick.
stuff
So you
on
look
me.
here. So we have. Where is it? All right. So plate appearance. Minus 165. Y'all steamed it. Oh,
Wow.
no. Wow.
Damn, sharp as hell.
Let's see.
Okay,
what,
so
what do we have for? Well, Bet Rivers have it. Instant betting. We'll record a hit or walk. Okay, no. So they only have hit or walks right now.
interesting. 165. All right, man. Well, that edge is gone at least for this batter. I'm just curious to see what Judges is.
And so,
What it's gonna be.
so Judge right here, you can actually bet the exact plate appearance.
In out, strikeout, single, walk, home run.
And I guess it got steamed even more because now it's off the board.
With the first pitch.
The whole every odd, they're like, dude, these people are gonna tear us up. You got to turn it off.
What the fuck? All right. All right. Let's see here.
Let's see.
Now I'm waiting for it to start. Now I want it to be a ball because I don't want to miss out on the strike here. Interesting. So, do you think that this is just a one-off occurrence? Are they sharpening it up a little bit? What do you think?
I think it's just maybe a one-off occurrence.
Okay.
Let's see. So
Nice.
plate appearance. Let's see. So first pitch. So this is also cool. You can do like, will they get over? Will they strike out the side? Will there be a
Okay.
strikeout at all in the inning?
Okay. Well,
person go on
strikeout.
base?
Strikeout. I can give you quick odds real quick. One sec. Let me see if we have time. We got here LeMahieu, Judge, Rizzo. 55% chance of a K. So what is that? Minus 110 or something?
Yeah. So it's actually for the top minus 245. So we could do no strikeout at the top of the first inning at plus 175.
Yeah, let's bet that. Or let's,
Okay.
in theory, let's bet that
Let's
because
in theory bet that. Yeah.
55% chance, or like 0.55 projected K is the better way to say that.
Okay.
So,
So add that to the bet. No strikeout, top first.
yep, it's
Joe
okay.
Easy says over under. There's like 6 billion props here. If you could be a little bit more specific.
For the game, do you think?
I-
What's the total for the game?
9. I'll say over.
Yeah, given Boston's bullpen issues, I'll go over.
Yeah. So let's see. Is it up yet? So they're in the pregame. So yeah. So usually that the first pitch for the very first batter, you can kind of get, a little into. You're like, all right, cool. I can see what's going on. Are the books a little bit weird now? So.
Do you think in play is ever an option? 700 doesn't seem like enough money, but I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
So apparently the first pitch already went off. It's on to the second pitch. So I went to MLB.com. The first pitch already happened apparently, but we'll have to see what it actually is.
Let me see here.
And MLB.
So this goes to show how
behind.
behind it is. You gotta be careful about not betting something that's already happened.
Yes. There was especially for football. That's a big no-no.
Oh yeah, true.
Every professional bettor that I've heard that does live betting says only bet during the commercial. Oh, it was a ball. Wow. First pitch, high ball.
I guess people are watching on TV. All right, so thank you for saving us there.
Yes.
Drafting. Oh yeah, I see it now. Ball.
Yes.
2-1. All right, let's sweat under one strikeout for the first inning.
Yes.
All right, so Judge, you said let's just be ready for this. So Judge, first pitch strike was roughly even money. You said.
Yeah. So really
Okay.
quick, I just want to say here. So they're already on the fifth pitch on DraftKings, there's only been 2 pitches on MLB.com, so I need to know there. Oh god, and of course there's 2 strikes. Yeah.
2 strikes. God damn it. Had to take it to him immediately.
DJ, come
Call,
on.
call down strikes. Immediately lost.
Well,
Immediate loss.
not good.
All right, we got plus 160, right?
Yep. So, all right. So,
Good for our Nick
Judges,
Pivetta.
really quick. Judges' first pitch strike is minus 140, which is definitely a no bet there.
Okay, definitely no bet. I mean, is it just me or these odds seem wrong, right? Like if strike foul is minus 140, ball hit by pitch is 135. That's basically even money, but in plays 6-1, 6.5 to 1. That's
Yeah.
not. That seems wrong, right?
Very easily could be.
Well, they changed it a little bit. What the hell are they doing? They're all over the place with these live odds.
Yeah, I imagine it's all automatic, and it's just what with this count, this inning, etc. Just put these odds.
I can't believe maybe who fucking struck out, dude. You struck out looking, and I'm looking here at our back end. 13% chance of a K per at bat, and just immediately struck out on 5 pitches. So that's cool.
Nice.
All right, well this helps our Pivetta. First pitch ball. If we went the other way, we could have.
Oh,
There's
we've been
probably a little
crushing
value
first
there.
pitch ball, yeah.
All right, so another idea here, just spitballing as we're live.
Okay.
If a guy throws 2 balls to start, maybe you're thinking, oh, he's a little off. Maybe those odds inflate a little bit in his favor, or the batter's favor for the next one. What is Rizzo's was? You said play plus 140 strike, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's tough to know because, again, the feed is it's real time, whereas MLB.com is delayed. So they're on the 3rd, 4th, 5th pitch when you see the first or second.
True. Okay.
So that's always tough. But yes, I like where you're going there.
Okay. All right. Again, these are things you can model too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So-
We're still on Judge. He's probably gonna strike out too. So.
And so his strikeout's only minus 105. For the
Dude, it's
at-bat.
1 and yeah, but it's 1 and 2 right now. Why would you not bet that? Again, without looking at any numbers, a 2 strike count feels against a guy like Judge who does K, feels like it should be higher than even money.
And he fouls it. Excuse me. Somehow when he fouled it, it went to even money, so even worse.
So pre at bat, we had Judge at 25% K chance. That's obviously not in 2 strike counts, that's just overall. So again, these are things you could easily look up, and I
And
encourage
he's
everyone.
And he singled.
He singled.
Yep.
The chalk always gets there.
Chalk will always get there.
All right, Rizzo. What number are we looking for? Plus something.
We were like plus 115.
So I mean, it's right in the middle where we're not gonna get anything.
Yeah, we're not going to get anything at all. Well, I don't even know what it first was.
I can't believe he K'd LeMahieu. That's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
Alright, so Judge
Apparently,
singled.
Pavetta's on point though, because shit, 2 strikes for every single first 2 batters.
I know we need to keep his pitch count low. All right,
Yeah.
the first pitch for Rizzo was a ball. He threw it maybe 10 feet over his head, according to the pitch tracker. All right, so 4th up, let's keep looking at this. Stanton, what we got for him?
So let's see. So for Stanton, we want the same thing, plus 115. So we're not going to get there, I don't think.
Okay. Dude, if you want to get divorced so fast, just live bet every pitch. I mean, you can, if it, like, again, right? Like, there's a lot of things to get into in life, and if you just want to have a nice chill night at home, you want to wager on some sports, and you want a ton of action, you could literally just sit here for every single at bat for 3 hours, and you might bet 3 things, if you're diligent about it, but you'll find 3 edges, I guarantee it, over the course of 9 innings.
Yeah, and I'll say, like again, I said this at the very top of the stream. Please bet responsibly. Cannot say this enough. However, I will say,
you see Ken, by the way, 141 for Giancarlo is the triple.
Holy shit! Wow. And that's nuts. That's 140. That's great. Or 60 to 1 to reach on air. Kind of crazy. But I will say, like DraftKings, for example, I think their lowest is 50 cents on plus money odds. If you just want to like have a good time and just bet like 10 things for 50 cents. You're good.
Raymond in the chat says live bet no runs per inning. Yeah, is that an option on there, Moose? Like, will there be a run scored with 2 outs?
Plate appearances, pitch count. Oh my goodness, you can talk about what the number of pitches are going to be per each.
Oh, this is wild.
This is nuts. Yeah.
You can model all these things, by the way, and you can be prepared before.
Yes. So let's see here. Game lines. Doesn't look like you can bet. I'm guessing he went out or something like
Oh,
that.
do live props. There you go. Oh, I don't know actually.
Live props. Home run. Oh, yes. Will they score a run in the first inning? Will a team score a run in the first inning? But it looks like it says who will score the third run. So I'm assuming that's maybe someone scored 2 runs. 2 runs.
Oh yeah, Giancarlo just homered.
Nice.
Dude,
Chalk
Pavetta.
hits.
All right, so our stack against Pavetta is working so far, assuming he can actually stay in the game and not give up 6 home runs.
Yes. And so what you can do then is there's a live players total tab that gets calculated like every pitch, and then you can bet like will that player hit another home run as well.
Interesting. Okay.
So like total all the other stuff as well.
These would be interesting to compare. Again, remember we said that sometimes they change these after the game starts. So for guys who haven't played yet, just make sure they're not fucking up at the books, and just make sure they haven't played any prices for guys who haven't hit yet.
Definitely. I want to know, Ken apparently, or whoever has all these crazy things, where are you watching this at? Is it just like on the TV or?
I feel like
MLB.com?
TV might be faster at this point because for some reason MLB.com is definitely behind. I know some sportsbooks like Bet365 in Canada has quicker feeds.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some other ones that have quick feeds too. So
Let's see. So Donaldson, of course, was probably going to be one that we wanted, and it would have been a strike, but we were too busy talking about Bet365 for 3 seconds.
can't slip, dude. You gotta be on the shit for you can't
Yeah. So
miss anything.
let's see here.
Just in case if he gets on base, Matt Carpenter is next.
Let's see. Matt Carpenter. I don't even see him in my thing. So it must mean that he doesn't have enough plate appearances or combined sample size for this.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see.
All right.
But I'm trying to look at who we can do for next up.
Oh, for Boston.
Okay. Christian Velasquez, who's batting second for Boston, is the highest edge I think we're going to have for pitch strike.
What odds are we looking for?
170 or lower.
Minus 170?
Yeah, minus 170 or lower.
Very nice. Okay. All right. Well, shit. Now we gotta stick around.
Yeah, I know.
All right, but we need Pavetta to get out of this goddamn inning if he's gonna hit 6 innings pitch. So, God, dude, just get out of here.
Yeah. So there's the plate appearances, live props. I'm just trying to look. At
That's why I wish we could have bet pitches instead of innings or instead of outs. Obviously.
I know.
But he definitely would have hit.
But this is crazy. So you can do number of pitches in an inning for a person.
That feels tougher, just based on
Yeah, that's
the
way
shooting
tougher.
factors.
Also, I feel like Italian to get a win, minus 115, just because he's the better pitcher. And
Not to mention they're already up 2-0.
yeah, that seems.
I would have loved to compare that to pregame.
I mean, we can.
Feels like it couldn't have been much
radar.
worth. Oh yeah, I guess we could, right? I can look it up if you want me to.
Yeah.
All right, let me see on one side. Or you got it?
I will. Pull it up.
Meanwhile, we're missing 12 bets while we're looking this up.
And I appreciate the 15, 16 people that are still here.
Yeah, thanks for sweating this out with us. Even though I literally have no action on this, I'm very interested in this and just learning myself for the inevitable onslaught when it gets to the state. Dude, he's throwing so many pitches. He's not gonna get 17 outs.
No. Is the
All right.
Occuprop radar working for you, Brian? I hear.
Let me see.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, now it
Italian.
is.
Let's see what it was. So. Okay,
It
so it
was
looks like
plus
since the game
123.
started, but what was it?
Caesars had it plus 123,
Okay.
so I have no historical basis for how much 2 runs in the first inning should change that. It feels like it should be more, but again, I don't know. And he struck out Donaldson, so not only did he get 1 strikeout, he got 2 strikeouts.
Dude, our thing
Very-
is working perfectly. It's
very
striking
good
out
and
and home runs.
Yeah, this is a very good game script setup for our Yankees heavy plus Pavetta lineup.
Okay, so Durant minus 160 for a striker foul, 170 for a ball or hit by pitch, 550.
What are your
for in
truds?
play. We don't have enough sample size for it.
That makes sense. He just got called up somewhat recently. So,
Yeah.
all right. So Vasquez is the one we're gonna be looking for minus 170.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna put it minus 170 or higher for a catcher hitting second.
No, because I can't remember the odds maker for DraftKings. He's just following our stream. He's like, oh, they say they do 170, perfect.
Just live changing odds based on our stream. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And again, if for people in the chat here, if there's a prop that you like Albert's saying over 10, just say it. If there's a prop, again, we're not taking the action. We're not gonna pay you for it, but if there's a prop that you like, call it out.
We'll look it up.
Let's get this chat. Let's get this chat looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'll look it up. All right, so Duran, Vasquez. All right, 2-0. So how many pitches did Also, would you guys like a stream like this for football? Is my question, because it's up to you guys watching. You would like something like this during football. I think it would be super fun. Obviously, there's gonna be a little bit of delay with what's going on, but I think it'd be super fun to sweat it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's nice because all the games are over or have started, so there's no worry about changing your lineups or anything like that, and you're just sitting back enjoying yourself. We're kind of just shooting the shit for a little bit.
True. Pivetta threw 23 pitches. Albert says Pivetta is the worst against the Red Sox, which is interesting because he plays for the Red Sox, so I'm not sure about that.
He says definitely.
Got it. Okay. All right, so
Also,
we'll get out of here after this happening.
Really quick, Ken with the run scored in the first inning plus 105.
So yeah, if you got the secret Canadian books that give you plus money on that, then print money.
Yeah, so Duran down minus 150 for the strike. So I'm actually really curious. So,
real quick. Well,
yes.
Whatever you're about to say, I'm gonna look up total strikeouts first inning for Jameson to see what our true odds say.
Okay. Judge is minus 220 to get another hit. Seems I thought was crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
And I was trying to see. Actually, I want to see where's stolen bases. So we bet Story. So he's actually plus 850, which is even higher than what it was pregame to steal a base.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then we should have fucking waited. So they haven't fixed that, clearly.
I guess not. No.
Okay, so our projected Ks for the first inning for Jameson is .5627 Ks. If we look at the little Poisson action, greater than or equal to 1 strikeout is 43%. So what are the odds we've got for
it's
Ks?
Minus 400 because Duran's already 1 and 2.
I feel like that's too high. I feel like I know it's 1 and 2. He's gonna K on the fourth pitch. But I feel like I would especially bet no. But again, this is where modeling comes into play. All right, but we can't get sidetracked. We gotta be ready for Christian Vasquez.
This is how you get the Atlantic City thermos.
Yeah. This is 100% how you get the Atlantic City thermos. All right, 2-2 count. Let's see. But yeah, I just don't see how. See, now it's already down to minus 350 after 1 pitch. So still, for the record, I would say no K recorded, especially at plus 300 or whatever. So.
Also, thank you all for everyone that's currently joining. Looks like we've gotten like 10, 15 new people in the last couple of minutes. We're just talking about flash bets. Brian's new to this. He's in a state that's currently has legal sports betting, but like not. So, no online betting. I am currently in a legal jurisdiction that allows flash betting. So, oh my god, dude, fucking Vasquez was minus 170.
Oh, dude, they're using your model. Did you sell out on us? Did you sell them your first pitch model?
No, I didn't.
All right, so minus 170. So they're clearly using something similar, a similar tactic to what you're using. So
yeah,
the edge is completely gone. Did Duran strike out? Did we lose that bet yet?
No, he in play outs.
All right. So what did a K recorded now? What did that drop to in the first inning?
Strikeout. It's minus 115. It was.
Yeah. Okay. So plus 300 was a great. I'm gonna. Wow. Man, I can't wait for this. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So Duran grounded out, and then who's the third person? JD Martinez. We gotta be prepared. You gotta be 1 step ahead in live betting. So.
JD Martinez. And of course, Vasquez first call strike.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was definitely a lot happening. I don't see anything for him. No sample size, but I think we do have something for. Yeah, Bogarts. We should get there with Bogarts. We're gonna look at minus 150 or lower. So.
All right, we'll see on that one.
Vasquez, he'll get a single.
Just put it in play, dude. Come on.
Nope, in play outs.
In play? All right. Well, that helps.
No, in play outs.
I don't care. In play is good for our K prop.
Yes.
Okay, well JD. So now I'm just curious to see how their model is working. So what is K in the first inning now? Now it's got to be like plus.
Plus 175 minus under no minus 240.
So for the record, our K projection for JD Martinez in a single at bat is roughly 21%, which means, I mean, it should be like minus 400 no K here, true odds.
Yeah, and see, we've talked about this several times before, where you have to have some sort of plan of attack, and
yes, agreed.
Whether that's, I know I'm going to focus on this or that or this other thing over here, have the line for it as soon as it happens. Okay, I know I need to look for 300. And Brian, we talked about it before, like I know because I asked you the question before you actually saw this. You can't line shop with this. You have to just, okay, this is the line I need, and if it's there, I hit it.
Yeah, and maybe again, by first pitch strike, by the way, there's the hammering first pitch strikes.
Yeah, in play outs.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Dude, I am behind here. Okay.
So.
Sorry. So that would have cashed. And did we have any? Oh, so we would have went 1-1, but our two bets were both plus money, so we'd have profited.
Yes, we would have profited. Yeah.
All right. So all that said, profit, and there is money to be made for sure doing this. You just gotta be on top of it.
Yes, absolutely. And I actually want to see, right before we head away, I do want to see if another sports book to use that I know has some good stuff is PointsBet. I haven't had a chance to look at them too much in flash bets. I want to see really quick what they have. Let's see if there's anything that they have up here. Let me pull them up. So they have some nice little thing there. It doesn't look like that they have. Let's see. So they just have money line. I don't see anything like live props.
Yeah, they're scared. I believe that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So Brian, any last lingering thoughts, words, or thing you want to see?
I don't know. If you guys like this type of stream, let us know. That's the biggest key here. We're trying different content out. Betting. I mean, this for me, it was super fun. I wasn't even betting the damn thing. So I think if you want to see more like this, let us know. I don't know how this works for NBA. That would be interesting. But football seems just made for this. So, and again, the fact that there's so much data out there means you can literally make your own models on this, and you can find edges every which way you want to look. And to me, if you're not like a super serious sports bettor, if you are a serious sports bettor, like there's tons of money to be made doing this. You probably get booted or cut or something or limited. But if you're a casual bettor, I mean, this is a great way to spend a night when you're not looking to go out, you're not looking to do whatever else. So I'm gonna get some numbers here, and I'm gonna live sweat these flash bets. So yeah, I think it's really fun, and I'm curious to see how the rest of this game turns out. See if anyone can win some showdown money.
Absolutely, yep. So we have the showdown, we got the in-game bets, and that'll be pretty much it. Again, if you like what you see here, definitely go ahead, thumbs up the video. If you're watching the replay to see what kind of setup we have, comment down below. Subscribe if you like this type of content. We do have a Discord as well. We do talk about mainly DFS. We also talk about some betting as well. I don't think we've lost a single draft prop of any sport in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So, but until next time, Moose and Brian here from Occupy Fantasy. Have a good night.
Peace.